Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM21. This is Zero to Hero. It's episode number 11. As we head into a new season, it's still summer, but we've got one of those big checkpoints. First off, as we roll over from semi-pro to a pro team, of course, last time we discovered that we had to sign everybody to new contracts, and it made a massive, massive difference as we went forward into what everybody was being paid now that we are a pro team. Most of the players are making about $11,000 per year. That's realistically, that's very small. But 100 people coming to games does not generate much income. So our balance might be quite healthy right now, and so far through this playthrough, we've got 3.8 million in the bank. A very good thing, but suddenly we're spending 400,000 on payroll alone. So that is drastically different from what it was just a season ago. I mean, we're up by almost 400,000 from what we were. So the big income is going to come down quite a bit. At the moment, I'm not terribly worried about it. I think instead of making a ton of profit, it's going to be more like breaking even or making a smaller profit for the year, most likely, but it's still something we're going to need to keep an eye on. And as we go forward and as salaries continue to rise, we have got to be bringing people in. And last season, from the season before, the stadium was about just as filled as it was. I think it only went up by 4, maybe 5. So one important thing is going to be what happens with our reputation. Well, here's that look. That's what we're into right now. What is our ranking? We started dead last. We moved up a few spots. Then we began to climb. Last season, we were a quarter of the way up the list. At the bottom of the list, it's obscure. It's nothing. 3/4 of the way up the list, you're still at half-star reputation, just breaking into local rep. Right about a quarter of the way to a third of the way down the list. There's the mark. So maybe 28% of the way down. Last time we were at about a quarter. So we'll start from there and start climbing and see where we're at. Now you can see it goes alphabetical when they are exactly the same on reputation. But there's a huge coverage in what a reputation is. I mean, there's 10,000 points available. So you're seeing the occasional where everybody's locked in together, but you can see we've already improved from a season ago because now we are more than a third of the way up and still have not seen us. So we are rising. And this is going to make a really, really big difference in how we proceed long term. For one, hitting professional may, and I don't know for sure, may have impacted what we have, but we are now 50% of the way up and still haven't come across our team. So we have at least achieved the goal that I was looking for, was getting to the halfway point. But how far do we get? I'm assuming we're still half-star. I'm assuming we're still obscure. But how close are we to breaking out of obscure and into local? Well, there we are. There we are. So that's quite a jump. I mean, 50% of the way down is about here. That's 33. It's a little over 40, I'd say, right now. Top, maybe 42% from top 75. We're maybe one season away from getting from obscure to local. And you can see we are right next to Thatcom, who is in the same level as we are. So we're actually matching reputation of a team in our level, despite not existing just a few seasons ago. That's progress. That is absolutely progress. Speaking of, what is the actual reputation? We're going to go back into that screen in just a second, though, because there's still more that I want to see. It's over 1,000. So it's still 10%. 10% is our evaluation of what it could be, because 10,000 is max. But it was a 1, 4 years ago? So big progress. Big progress. But let's jump back in there for a second and let's see what the top looks like. You can see just how high up the list you've got to be just to break out a 1-star. And that's National League. Championship, Rotterdam, all the way down here. Blackburn, lowest of the Premier League teams. West Brom, West Ham, Watford are up there. And here's the top of the list. So 4 stars, Everton, Arsenal. Leicester have... Leicester also 4 stars. So 3 4-star teams now. Everton has broken into Continental. Tottenham come down a little bit this year, but they're still at 4.5 stars. Chelsea, Man City go up. Man City cracked the 5-star. Oh no, they did it last season already. In fact, these are all the same in terms of star ratings. But Liverpool and Tottenham, the only ones in the top with a decreased reputation. All the way down to West Brom. Got Leeds, Burnley, both losing 0.5 stars. West Ham, Watford, West Brom all picking up a 0.5 star. But at the top, it's Man United, most reputable club. Approaching the start of the season, I've made a few moves in the coaching staff department. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But our preseason promotion odds have us favorite yet again this season. I think that is going to depend largely on whether we have any players lost. We lost 3 of our core last season. There are a couple of players, including Phil Skelness, who are large bids are already coming in. So that's a little worrying. Also of note, even though completely irrelevant and unimportant in any way, but those who are fans of FM are probably familiar that the SI team sponsors a team, have their own team. I don't know fully how it works. I know they feature with them, but hashtag United, and they are favorites to be our challenger, though we are heavy favorites in the promotion odds. Now that we are professional and now that we have diversified and strengthened our coaching staff, I think development's going to be pretty good this season. Also, we've made some progress in the mentoring department where we've started to fix some of the personalities that were a bit broken, and overall the team is trending towards a strong personality type. Still have plenty of work to do. It's going to take many seasons to really pull that together, but progress is being made. And all of those little pieces are helping to shape the squad and make that little bit stronger. But again, as we lost that core, and we do have some players starting to come through the pipeline, 3, 4, 5 players in and around the starting lineup now that are filling out to join that core of 5 players. They're not there. They're not core yet, but they're becoming pretty decent, and that's given us a bit of an edge again, potentially, for this season. Still plenty of work to do. Let's take a look at, you could see our staff. We've now filled out 5 of 6 coaching slots. Last season we had 1 slot, 2 slots. So that is grown significantly. You can see head of performance analyst is still available and 1 more coaching position. But I'm going to hang on to those at least for the time being. As you can see, we are now the highest average across the entire league when it comes to coaching. Our head physio is up there, not perfect. We're 2nd in the league, and we just hired a sports scientist as well, so our first one of those. A lot of good things. We had a single scout. They're gone. There's no reason to have a scout. There really isn't. I'm not worried about the opposition instructions as we push through and we play our style. And then, obviously, we've got about a 76-year transfer ban still. So we're not signing players. Here's the progress in the mentoring department. We can now see Harry Jewell still unambitious, but he has made some progress. And now we're seeing a turn that his estimated effect from the group is pretty significant. The problem is the influence isn't that great, so it's taken a while to drag him up towards these professional players. Balanced is not good. It's middle of the road. It's not where you want to be, but compared to unambitious, dragging somebody up is a good thing. We want to drag the balanced players up towards professional eventually, or towards determined. Speaking of, this group is pretty good. Resolute is one of the U18s type. It's not a direct personality. You can't really pull others towards Resolute. So Fjalskalnes still needs to be kind of dragged in the right direction. But you can see just where this group is right now. And I'd like to potentially add somebody else in here pretty soon. But George White on low determination. He was, I think, worse than that. So he has made progress, and we will continue to try to drag him up to where the others are. So all in all, things are good. U23s are similar in that. But as for our coaches and what they are doing on training, we're starting to split things up. For one thing, I've got some U23 coaches that participate in the coaching at this level, trying to maintain. We do have a heavy for possession. That's one area where we're a little bit weak on that. You can see just how much progress we've made. I mean, just 2 seasons ago, we were at a point where our best was, I think, 1.5 stars. First season, I was all alone, and it was half stars across the board. As coach now, I'm down to just 2 categories that I'm participating in, just one where I'm the chief guy. Technical, you can see tactical for defending. You can see the progress that I've made, the motivating, determination, discipline, all of that it's climbing. It's not good, but it's slowly climbing. And I still have only gained a single badge. I forgot to check on that this summer. And by the time I got around to it, it was too late. So next summer, I really need to, now that we're professional, I think I should be able to get on with that next badge, especially as high as we've climbed. You can see most of the coaching staff now are able to operate at roughly 3 stars to 2.5 stars. So definitely coming along. Definitely coming along. Here we are at the season opener on the road at Bedford. Well, let's see what we can do in the new season. Now in the 7th tier, just one away from the game's actual base as Fjalskalnes tries to make a run for that one. Defense quick enough to get back and clear that one out for the throw. And the game moves beyond that opening. So here we go. Barreto, Fjalskalnes. That one's turned over, but we recover it very quickly. Thomas, nice ball through. Jameson off the post. And then the defender picks that one up and nearly puts it in the back of the net himself. Jameson, nice ball over, and Barbados opens the season in the 10th minute with our first goal. Really nice pass from Jameson, flashing that one through the box. Defense nowhere to be seen. That's really poor defense from, number 4? One of the center backs stuck chasing Fjalskalnes and not watching. That would have been an easy interception. Fjalskalnes knocks that one on. Holmes recovers, and we are set to go for another one. It's already just the 14th minute. Nice defensive clearance from the fullback on that one. Hoey is going to pick this one up after the very long clearance. Hoey's ball nearly gets picked off, but Holmes is able to knock it on forward. Williams wins that header. Here's Barbados. Lays it off, and not a good one, but Barreto recovers very well. Barbados' ball is picked up there. He draws the foul. That's going to be a dangerous spot for that free kick, but not a highlight following it. So we did a really poor job. Here's Holmes. Creates a turnover. Fjalskalnes loses the ball, but he's going to recover it before it goes out of bounds. Nice ball ahead to Barbados. Barbados, what can he do with it? Barreto. Holmes inside. Oh, James Fjalskalnes. I think he could have taken in touch and turned and gotten off a decent shot, but he lays it off for Jameson, and that gets picked off. Here's Holmes. Thomas out wide. We're going to pick it up. Elliott recovers. Here's Holmes. Barbados, nice ball. Here's Thomas. Finds Bridges on the overlap. Bridges, ball inside. Deflects. Keeper laying on the ground. Jameson, that's a tap in, and it's 2-0 in the 20th minute. We score in the 10th. We score in the 20th. There's Bridges. The overlap really set that one up, and then we were behind the defense. Jameson was already in the prime spot, but the ball goes to Phil Skelnis. His shot is blocked, and then ping pong ensues, and we tap it in to make it 2-0. All us so far. The XG is actually still below 1, even though we lead 2-0 in this one. We go past the 30th minute without a goal. We had one at the 10th. We had one at the 20th, but now a half hour has gone by. That one's cleared out. Phil Skelnis picks it up. Loses the ball, but here's another chance to run, and he beat the defense twice. He got the step on him, and then he was able to get some distance from him. Should have done better on his shot. That cross made it to its target, but it's headed well over the bar, and that was the first attempt Bedford's had here in the half. That cross is clear, but Thomas picks it back up. Barreto, wide open header from short range, and he can't get it. That's 2 missed clear chances now. That long ball, ooh, that was nearly a chance. How he gets on it first there. Sets up Simpson. Simpson's ball. Phil Skelnis gets there, only just though. Thomas on the yellow. Nice ball. Barbados, what a turn, but then he blasts it off the defender, who really wasn't even... That shot was so far off target. Anything on target would have beat both of those two defenders that he was shooting in between. Thomas, nice recovery. Dangerous, though. Bridges now on a yellow card as well as we approach halftime. We'll probably have to make some safety subs for those two. Jameson lays it off. Holmes, nice ball ahead. Barbados, Phil Skelnis. Little give and go, but no movement. And then we flash it just wide. We hit halftime up 2-0. We finally break 1 on the XG, so we're a little bit lucky to have the 2 goals that we have. All right, we'll go ahead and start the second half, but very early. Let's look to make some subs. Thomas and Bridges. Ooh, oh, that was close. Nice sliding tackle by the defense to recover that ball. Okay, Bridges. Substitute. We've got right backs. We've got McManus. Jewel, you know what? I'm going to give Jewel a shot here. Jewel's one of those that I'm hoping can break out of his shell and begin to develop, and this is a good way to do that. Get him in the action. There's Thomas. Thomas needs to be subbed out. 63rd minute. Yeah, it's a good time for that to happen. It's already an hour into the game. Okay, Robbie Burns or Fenton. Let's go with Burns. 1 sub remains. Phil Skelnis. Turns off to the races. He's got help. He's got help. Flash it across. Barbados. Defense gets back just in time to block that one. Barbados had to cut in to get to it. And the defense was there. It gave him just enough time. Holmes quite fatigued. Let's... Wait. Holmes? No. Yes, Holmes. Holmes is the one. We've got Kerr or Fenton. Let's go ahead and bring in Fenton. And Barreto sets that back to the D. Jewel. Long ball ahead. Not going to hit the target here. Holmes, nice saving tackle on that one. Elliott attacks that ball to keep possession. Up to Phil Skelnis. Here's Barbados. He had Jameson out on the flank. It would have been a difficult ball. It would have been better than nothing. Phil Skelnis gets to that header. Well done, but straight to the keeper. 18-1 on the shots. Not much here in the second half happening. Barbados lays it off. Barreto. Fenton just playing keep away, even though we haven't changed tactics. Here's Burns. Burns with a shot. And again, should have done better. But that's all a sign of the division we're in. We are better than the opponents. But you're still seeing weaknesses. We're not a League One or a championship type side. It's clear we're in the 7th tier. I think this team is good enough to climb to the 6th or 5th tier, but without development, without better youth intakes, we're not going to get much higher than that. So yes, we're cruising through these lower reaches, but it is going to be a while, I think, before we really see a team capable of playing much higher than where we're at right now. 24 of the shots at the end, 2-0 final score. Kind of a weak second half. Let's go ahead and go outstretched arms. Give them the praise, even though it was not a good second half. We'll keep that to ourselves. And we open the season with 3 points on the road. It's a good way to start. August just started. We still have a whole month until the transfer deadline for the bigger clubs that would be offering big money to steal players away from us. And some of the offers we're getting, I think Bridges, he's been getting about 30,000 consistently, 15 to 30,000. Phil Skelnis is the other one who's bringing big offers in at this point. I have a feeling that those two, if they're bringing in that kind of money at the beginning of August, I think by deadline day, we could be losing both of them. Bridges, I don't mind as much, but Phil Skelnis will be sorely missed because I've never gotten a proper striker. He's a winger who's been playing in the position. And all these seasons later, he was from the first intake. All these seasons later, we have still not picked up a proper striker capable of playing in the senior squad. That would be a position sorely missed if we lose Phil Skelnis. So let's push forward to, let's say, September 1st and see if we still have a team. Bad news, good news? Start with the good news. Nobody's gone. It is the 1st of September. Bad news. Well, through 5 matches, we have 7 points. We've got 2 wins and a draw. +1 goal differential. And we haven't lost any players. We have had a couple of injuries, but not to any key players. The other bad news, transfer deadline day was not August 31st. It's Sunday, so it's tomorrow. Tomorrow's transfer deadline day. It's 9:15 right now, 11 o'clock tomorrow. So we've got just over 24 hours. Let's go ahead and play this one out together. There's going to be lots of offers coming through, and you're going to see why it is the last few seasons I've started to kind of hit freakout mode right about this time. Phil Skelnis, $42,000 offer, $27,000 for Hoey, $20,000 for Hoey. What's going on? I just added 2. Oh, I can't add them because, I got you. We'll add in those guys. There we go. All right. We have lost 2 or 3 under 23s guys, but I haven't replaced any of them. None of them have been of high quality. $10,000 for Hoey, $18,000. Oh, that was Holmes and then Hoey. $16,000 for Holmes, $10,000 for Hoey. That's the smallest offer we've seen in a while. So far, so good. As we are now on the morning of transfer deadline day, it's now afternoon. 30, 26, $100,000 for Bridges. That's his second $100,000 offer. That's $125,000, what it could rise to. He's the one who's been closest so far. $23,000. $72,000 for Bridges. Well, I tried to play that game. Game actually bugged out on a little bit. I couldn't select any players. I had a blank roster. Couldn't put anybody into the side, no matter what I tried to do. So I ended up having to go on vacation, and it's now midnight. We'll see what happens here. That's it. That's it. The offers stopped coming in. We survived. We survived the clutches of the big sides for one more transfer window. I'm going to go ahead and push forward 6 weeks. I'll see you back. Let's see if we can recover our position in the league a little bit. But we're just about out of time for this one, so one more check-in. My oh my, what a difference a season can make. We didn't lose players. We move up a division, and all of a sudden, things have gotten challenging fast, very fast. After winning that opener, we had 2 losses from 2. We finally get a second win, and then we draw 4 straight matches, including our first ever FA Cup appearance. Altrincham way higher divisionally than we are 5th tier or 7th. We draw away, but then we lost at home in the follow-up. Finally, we get things going in the league, though. 3 straight wins, but then we just lost another. That loss came off the heels of a month-and-a-half injury to one of our core players, Diego Barreto, the midfielder, along with Holmes, absolutely leading the side. That's going to hurt. The good news, Thomas pushed out of the 70s into mid-80s already. Simpson, Barbados, Williams, all pushing from low 70s or high 60s up into mid-70s. So our first 11 is developing. Adam Elliott, left back. Jameson, they're both a ways behind the learning curve. But it's okay. It's okay. They are developing. That's a really good sign. Full-time status, better coaching, of course, our wonderful facilities finally starting to pay off a little bit. Also, the work we've done to try to improve Harry Jules' ambition primarily, but work on his personality as a whole, finally starting to see the results. He was stuck on 39 with a potential of 125 for 2 full seasons. We've finally seen a couple positive 2 or 3 times now increases to his determination, and now the personality improvements are starting to show. He's jumped. We saw him hit a 41 last year, but he's improving more rapidly. It's only been 6 weeks and he's picked up 3 points, which was more than what he'd picked up over the previous 3 years. So maybe, just maybe, he can start to realize his potential and become a contributor. Same with Adam Elliott, who's still coming up pretty short in that department. I have lost 4 or 5 players from our under 23s and or under 18s, but none of them necessarily have high potential. There's really only, outside of Odell, a couple players down in the lower reaches that have any chance of ever making the senior squad. But even looking at the senior squad, there's quite a few guys here that have no business being here, at least comparatively to the other guys that are here. So I really hope that the youth intake is going to help us out this year, because right now our struggles are for real. 8th place. Just 8th place in the league. 18 points from 11 played. That's one more than quite a few teams in and around us. 5 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. When was the last time we had more than 3 losses in a season? Possibly all the way back to that very first year. That's all the time that I have, though, for this episode. We've covered a lot, even though it's still early in the season. I will push forward 6 weeks, so I will see you at the end of November. And then we'll hit that transfer window in January, so we'll have to watch out again. We should hopefully get to the youth take still at the end of next episode, but certainly not at the beginning. It's going to be a while before we get to that yet. We haven't led the league for a single day yet. We've actually been quite low. We were all the way down in 16th just 5 weeks ago. Ooh, okay. We got our work cut out for us. They said we were favorites for the league, but clearly, even without losing players, we're having a bit of a struggle. So this is apparently where the team belongs now, is the 7th tier. I thought maybe we would cruise to at least the 6th tier before this started to happen, but here we are. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.